So welcome to this meditation on mindfulness. We're going to cover a few different areas of mindfulness and look at them individually and then put it together. So we'll first begin with a general awareness of your outer senses. So noticing the space you're in, even if you want to take a quick look around, just see what you can notice with your vision and hear with your hearing. And feel with your feeling, what else you can notice about where you are, maybe where your body's touching the ground or the whatever you're sitting on. And just taking into account anything which is moving around you. And now just allow your awareness of those things to take up a little bit less space. So now, even though you know there's things happening and there's stuff around you, just try to relax your awareness of how much space those things are taking up in your awareness. Allow your attention to turn towards the inner body. Just noticing the body here. We'll begin similarly to the outside, just getting an overall sense of what's happening with the body. As you become aware of the body, notice any movements that are happening, big or small. And as you're noticing those movements, just allow them to slow down. Allow those movements of the body, of the limbs, arms and legs, of the shoulders and the hips. Allow these movements to slow down. Allow the face to relax. Allow the jaw, tongue, and eyes to slow their movement and just relax. Now, as that movement begins to slow, begin to take your awareness more deeply to these things. So the same things that we are just observing, now we're being aware of how they are, just in stillness, noticing your limbs, your legs, your arms, noticing the center of the body, the belly, chest, as well as the face once more, with these areas still, just slowing the mind down a little bit more to tune into the sensations there. So what does the body feel like? And now keeping those body sensations at the forefront of your awareness, just begin to breathe in a way which you can relax your body. So breathe in a way here which you find relaxing to the body. Now as the body begins to feel relaxed, slowing down the activity, see if you can allow the body to let go, release, to take up a little bit less room in your awareness. So just allow the body to sort of dissolve in the background. Not so different from how when we started the meditation, we noticed the outside, the room, and we just allowed that to come into the background so we can notice the body. Now allow your body to fade into the background. come into an awareness of the movement that's happening within your feelings. So just notice any movement that's happening, any shifting that's happening with the emotions, just watching the movement, similar to how we observe the body and its movement. So just notice, see if you can track any changes that are happening here, if you're having some ups and downs with the feeling, the emotion, if it's charged or relaxed. Just spend a few moments tracing the movement of any feeling. Now, feeling's a little bit different than sensation. You can still feel it moving through the body. It has a different quality, bit of a more emotional charge, and it can also be, of course, in the mind. So it can be mind or body, the feeling. Now, as the feeling starts to calm down a little bit, just begin to notice now that the feeling is a little bit more stable, just remain with it and try to notice whatever you can about the feeling. Try to feel directly into the feeling as it's changing. Notice if it's pleasant, unpleasant, or something in between. Now, similar to what we did with the body, you'll notice that we do something similar to each of these steps. So we become aware of the movement, then of the object, and now we're going to breathe in relation to the feeling. So just paying attention to your feelings, you're going to breathe in and out in a way which helps it to feel a little bit more settled, a little bit more smooth. Dwelling with the feeling, just breathing in a way which brings you ease. And this is where you can get creative. It doesn't have to be a deep breath in and out. You can play around with this, so you can just choose to hold the breath in, hold it out. You can shorten one, lengthen the other, whatever you'd like, whichever you feel helps you to calm that sense of feeling. And now, having spent a few moments remaining with the feeling and relaxing there, just see if you can release the sense of feeling into the background, just like we did with the body and just like we did with our outer perceptions. So just allow that feeling sense, now that you've spent a little bit of time with it and the body, just to relax, knowing that you've addressed and become conscious of those aspects. Take a moment here as we enter our next portion of this meditation into the mind, just to notice in general, how is the mind moving? Is it moving about in a clunky way? Is it moving about smoothly? Is it very active? Is it wanting something or not wanting something? Just notice overall, what's the mood in the mind? What's the attitude? As we observe the mind here, we allow it a little bit of time to come into rest now, just observing what's the activity which remains in the mind, what's happening a little bit more beneath the surface. So again, you're noticing your attitude, your mood, what's the feel? What's the main overarching sort of vibe that you're getting from the mind here? You can even come up with a couple qualities if you want, just to sort of label what's happening there. And now getting even more in detail with the mind. Start to observe and dig into if you can hear or perceive any specific thoughts, sentences that the mind is forming, sentence fragments, words, and if you can notice if the mind is coming up with some kind of images that it's projecting, whether that's present, past, future, what kind of images are happening there in the mind, what kind of words. Paying attention to the mind, do you notice any repetitive thoughts that come again and again, or are they all different thoughts? Continue observing directly the mind, just dissecting and listening to thought. And now paying attention and connecting your breath to the mind. Let's breathe the next few breaths in a way which feels relaxing to the mind, easeful, just allowing those thoughts to come and go more easily. Now, as we did with the feeling sensation, the body, and the outer perception of our senses, just allow that mind sense, the flow of mind and thought, and the action of mind just to relax into the background, knowing that because you could observe your thoughts, because you could observe your feelings, because you're able to observe your body and the outside, there's separate from you. They're not you. So just allow those things, outer world, body, feeling, and thought, just to drop away and see what remains, entering into a bit more of an open awareness space. With this open awareness, whatever comes up, just see if you can observe some different qualities there. Just the fact that whatever's coming will not remain long. It will appear, it will change, and then it will disappear. Now, with that perception of some distance and separateness from what's coming up, just allow yourself a few moments to relax and soak up some silence, some space between thoughts, feelings, body sensations. See if you can pick out a few moments in between these things where there's just space and quiet. We've entered the final stage of our meditation for this evening, and that is your being. And once you arrive at your being, there's no longer any guidance necessary for you. You're in meditation.